Welcome to Cuisines and Cocktails. Today we're going to rum to the islands. Yes, that was a pun. Maybe bad, but it was a pun. Today we're going to do a rum cocktail, coconut rum cocktail, crab cakes, and a fish, flamed rum fish dish. So the cocktail today, we're going to start with 2 ounces of rum. This is a spiced dark rum. A little bit of brown sugar, a little bit of nutmeg, and about a teaspoon or so of cocoa powder, and maybe a 1/4 cup of coconut milk. Shake it up. Strain into a cocktail glass. And for a garnish, we're going to do some lemon. We're going to put a little bit of coconut powder on one side and enjoy. We'll be right back with crab cakes and a rum fruit chutney. So we're going to start with the tropical fruit relish for the crab cakes. And we started prepping the fruit, and I just wanted to show you what a papaya looks like on the inside. This is a little bit on the green side, but you got sometimes deal with what you have in the market. You can eat the seeds. They're very much like a peppercorn, sweet flavor. A lot of times I'll make a vinaigrette using them. It looks great. So we're going to do mango, papaya, dried mango, and some pineapple in the tropical fruit chutney. So a mango has a pit that lies in the center the same way. It's flat, kind of. It's like a disc shape. And again, the more times you can make your items that you're cutting up have a flat surface, the easier it is to cut up. All right, we're going to put a little bit of sesame seed oil in our pan, which has been preheating. It's nice and hot. Dried mango. And I like using dried mango just to give it another texture. And it does have a slightly different flavor component added to it. Golden raisins. And the papaya. And again, you want to try to keep your dices and your cuts about the same size. It just helps with consistency throughout the cooking process. It's not just it looks cool concept. It actually slightly does matter. And to this, we're going to also add a couple of green onions. Stir it around. We're going to add a little bit of honey. So what I always find interesting is multiple cultures have the same product. They just call it different things. Like the Middle East, India, they have chutneys. Spain and Mexico, they have salsas. Northern Europe, they have relishes. We're going to use a little bit of brown sugar also. A little bit of nutmeg, some lemon, and I'm going to show you how to cut up a pineapple. So a couple of cool facts about pineapples. Once a pineapple is harvested, it doesn't ripen anymore. So whatever they pick it at, that's what it's going to be when you cut it. So we're going to first cut either end. And then we're going to cut down, and we're going to just go to the inside of the green part of the flesh of the pineapple. Always keeping an eye, make sure there's still liquid in our chutney pan. And then this center is where the core is very fibrous. If you're wanting to maybe make your own pineapple flavored vodka or rum or something, you can cut it out, put it into a glass jar and put clear rum or vodka and let it steep for a couple weeks, and you'll have a pineapple infused alcohol. But for this dish, we don't need it. Some pineapple. We're gonna add a little bit of rum to this, and then we're just gonna we're gonna kick it over to a burner off this to the side and let it simmer for 20-25 minutes until it gets to be a nice, almost jam-like consistency, where the fruit break down a little bit and the dried mango and the raisins kind of plump up and get filled with all that wonderful flavor that we're imparting by having all the fruits and the herbs together. When we come back, we'll work on the entree dish with the fried plantains and the seared fish, and then we'll come back to the crab cakes. Okay, so we're going to next work on the coconut rice. So we're going to first toast some coconut. And while that is toasting, we are going to also caramelize some brunoise, very small diced onions and garlic, and a little bit of sesame seed oil. And we're going to use basmati rice and coconut milk. And while we're working on all this, we can also cut up a plantain. So plantains, the darker and the blacker they are, the sweeter they'll be, but they'll still be very starchy in product. But that's what this is. And we're gonna wanna cut maybe 1/4 to 1/2 inch slices. And we're gonna do them on a little bit of a bias so we have a little bit more surface area to have the plantain hit the oil when we fry them. Okay, we have a little bit of heat onto the the onions and garlic. We're gonna add the toasted coconut, the basmati rice, about half the amount of liquid you need. And then we're going to just top off with a little bit of hot water. Then we're going to turn to the back burners and let it sit for 10 minutes and let it cook. Alrighty, so I'm frying one batch of plantains and I have another batch I'll be doing. Just put them on this platter till hang out till we need them when we start to plate. And once again, as always, drop them and let them drop away from you. That way they don't splatter hot oil on you. And you want to get them till they have that nice golden brown edges and they're kind of soft and silky in the center. And while those are frying, we can work on the product for the crab cakes. I'm just gonna dice up some onion, some peppers, green onions, and we need a little bit of sesame seed oil. And we're gonna add about a half cup corn. Always kind of keeping an eye on the plantains because you don't want to burn them. And basically what you're trying to do now is match everything to the size of the corn kernels, since that's a set size product. We can only put a half a jalapeno in. And I'll take out the pith, which is the white part of the pepper. And a little bit of garlic. And to this, we're gonna add some green curry paste. Check on our plantains quickly. Put them over so they get browned nice and evenly. Check on our fruit chutney. And this is all we need color-wise on the vegetables for the crab cakes. And then we're going to add our crab. And we're going to add a little bit of egg. Some salt and pepper. All right, these plantains look done. And again, we'll use these to plate the entree. And I'm also going to check on the rice that we have in back. And we have our coconut rice. So we have the coconut rice, and we can just reserve this for later when we're ready to plate up the entree and the appetizer. We're going to finish up the crab cakes. We're going to add a little bit of all-purpose flour just to help bind it up and make a nice consistency. Fry them up, and then sear some fresh Atlantic cod with some seasonings, and then assemble the two dishes. You don't have to mix it super hard, just need to get it all bound together so it kind of holds together, kind of like a pancake consistency. And this is going to be kind of a loose crab cake. A little bit of oil. Salt, pepper, a little bit of Chinese 5-spice. Flip our crab cakes. And once we have a little bit of heat on the pan, we can add our cod. And we're going to finish it right in the pan. And what's going to be unique about this is we're also going to make the sauce around the fish. So we're going to take one of our pieces of pineapple that we had left over from the chutney, and we're going to brunoise. We're going to really make it really small, thin pieces. Add that to the pan. Crab cakes are ready. And we'll let them drain on a plate till we're ready to serve. And this will take about 5 minutes on a side. It's a pretty thick fillet, but we should be okay just doing it in the pan. Okay, so we have the fish in the pan. We're gonna let it cook a few more minutes. We're gonna flip it, let it cook for about 4 to 5 minutes till it's nice and translucent. And then we'll come back and we'll be plating and able to enjoy our hard work. Well, it's time to plate. So we're gonna take our coconut rice, some of our plantains, they're going to take our seared Atlantic cod, place it right over the top, and then our pineapple rum sauce, which I finished with just a little bit of whole butter just to give it some body, right over the top. And let's put a couple sprigs of cilantro on top. Then for the crab cakes, take our tropical fruit chutney, put it down center of the plate. And there we go. So today we did a green curry coconut crab cake with a tropical fruit chutney. We did a seared Atlantic cod with a pineapple rum glaze over coconut basmati rice and fried plantains. And then our cocktail was a coconut and cocoa rum cocktail. That's today's episode of Cuisines and Cocktails. I'm your host, James Jens, from Dinners with Class. To you, good eats.